More of the same this year. OK, let's hear from the Scarlets' Director of Rugby, Gareth Jenkins. He's talking to Graham Simmons.
Gareth, in your long and illustrious history at this club, there is not much that this team has not done. You've beaten the All Blacks here, you've beaten Australia here, you've won domestic pots and trophies, the Heineken Cup. How big of an itch is that?
Well, it is the one that's eluded us. It's the one that we've come too close to, and yet haven't got it in the cupboard. So it's a dream of mine. It's a desire really of the clubs, and it's really a focus of a couple of our senior players as well.
The premium, as you will well know, Gareth, in this competition is win your home games. Bookmakers say that you will win it tonight by 5 to 8 points. Does that sound about right to you?
Well, time will tell. But you are right. It is about being able to dominate your home environment. It is about making a fortress of your home ground, and we have to do that. The pressure is on us tonight, not on Northampton. Northampton can come here a little bit relaxed, which is dangerous. They can come here maybe realising that if they don't win, it doesn't matter. But if they do win, they've got something to look out for. We have to win. So we're feeling a bit of pressure, to be honest.
Good luck to you anyway. Enjoy the pressure. Do well. Thanks for your time, Gareth.
Very much.
I'm sure he will. OK, let's hear from Nigel Redman. He's with us again tonight, a European Cup winner himself, of course, with Bath. Nigel, you must have some fond memories of this place.
Simon, I've got some fantastic memories of playing down at Stradey Park. It's one of the best grounds in the world. It's nice and tight. You know, we used to play for a rag doll when we used to play Bath down here against Lethley. This afternoon, the stakes are much higher, and it doesn't come much higher than Wales versus England.
Nigel will be analysing things for us this evening down on the front line. He was talking about Wales, England, but there's a few New Zealanders in this Saints lineup and a few key matchups as well, in particular Quinnell against Blowers, Dowie.
That's going to be the big match I'm looking forward to, relishing. It's going to be the hard yards. You know, the wingers can score the tries, the fly-halves will spin the ball. It's these two guys. I said at the start of the show, Quinnell is a big match player. You know exactly, he gets that ball, he will drive forward. Andrew Blowers, consistently, week after week, almost year after year for Northampton, the best signing, one of the best signings he's ever made. He is outstanding. He tackles over 20 tackles a game, and he just puts his body on the line every time. So that is going to be crucial, and that will make a big mark to who wins this game.
Michael, what about that fly half, Stephen Jones against Shane Drum?
Yeah, fascinating matchup. Two guys that have really been... Well, Shane Drum can win matches for you. He's a brilliant player, but also can fall in a heap every now and then. This year he's been very good. His goal kicking's been outstanding. Stephen Jones had a wonderful World Cup. He did things that people didn't think he could do. So once again, like Blowers and Quinnell,
absolutely,
these two, whoever comes out on top there, could have a big say in who wins this match.
Jonathan, what about the importance of the front five battle this evening down here?
It's massive for Llanelli. It's an area where Northampton have struggled this year. You know, you can put pressure on the scrum, and you definitely can pressurise their line-out. And with Chris Wyatt, who does study the line-out very well, and is very, very good defensively, I think they could squeeze them up front.
It is a cold night here at Stradey Park, but they will be squeezing them in. You can bet your bottom dollar there. 10,600 is the capacity, full to bursting. At least it's getting that way, Dowie. Should be a fiery encounter. You expecting that?
Nothing else. It will be definitely fiery. Gareth Jenkins said it. It is so crucial in this competition to win your home games. They know that. Their record down here is outstanding in the European Cup, and they know they can't slip up tonight. So I will go with a Llanelli victory tonight, just.
You're going with a Llanelli
I'm going to
victory.
go with the Scarlets.
What about yourself, Jonathan?
Yeah, I think Llanelli have got enough power up front to sneak it.
OK, 5 to 8 points is the spread. Michael, finally from yourself.
I'll go for an upset. I'll go with Northampton.
Please go for Northampton. Coming from an Aussie, that's very nice as well. All right, guys, so here we go. The start of the Heineken Cup 2003. The first of 6 games you can see this weekend on Sky Sports. By the end of the weekend, your eyes should be oval. Your match commentators tonight, Stuart Barnes and Miles Harrison.
The only club competition in the world where over 200 internationals can go straight into action, having been involved in a World Cup. And with that trophy, having come to the Northern Hemisphere for the first time, maybe it is time for everybody in this part of the world to say the Super 12 is the Southern Hemisphere's version of the Heineken Cup and not the other way round.
Point Gareth Jenkins has been making all week, and I think you're both right. The intensity and physicality of the Heineken Cup probably prepares players better than Super 12 for Test rugby, but today has nothing to do with development. It's about pure tribalism. Rugby does not get more tribal than here at Stradey Park.
And Northampton leaving the familiar surroundings of the English Premiership to embark on another European journey And behind all the talk of the positive impact of England's World Cup victory, they arrive here in Wales knowing that the downside is that the English scalp will be an even more prized possession, country or club. And of course, a score to settle here as well after Llanelli's defeat to Northampton in the semi-final 3 years ago, a last-minute penalty from Paul Grayson on that day. Here's Mick Beale leading out the side, one of the co-captains of Northampton. The other is Andrew Blowers, and what a battle that is going to be. Blowers against Quinnell. A cold night in Wales, but this is one of the best winter warmers I can think of. The Heineken Cup is back. And Wayne Smith felt that Matt Dawson needed one more week after the World Cup. But Mark Robinson at number 9 has proved his value this season. England's Cohen does start, though, on the wing. Leslie is injured in the centre, so youngsters Tucker and Heineman combine. In the pack, Smith also feels that it would have been harsh on hooker Dan Richmond to bring another World Cup winger Steve Thompson straight back in. Matt Lord, the lock, is out for 2 to 3 months, so it's the 31-year-olds, Phillips and Hunter, in the second row.
Well, Bruce Rayhana switches wings to accommodate World Cup left winger Ben Cohen, but expect Rayhana to pop up all over the place. He is the fluid element to the Saints' back line.
This is a world-renowned rugby venue, oozing history. Gareth Jenkins played in the match, that match, against the All Blacks, the 72-73 All Blacks. But it's recent European history which plays on the minds of Jenkins and his coaching team of Nigel Davis and Paul Moriarty. Those near misses in the semi-finals. And last season, when, after an excellent run of form in the group, eventual finalist Perpignan won here, a desperately disappointing day at Stradey. Going out at the quarter-final stage, it simply wasn't in the script. They expected to win. But they are tougher, they are smarter a year on. Can the Scarlets break down the barrier to the final?
Well, the man talking to them there, Ray Gravel, one of the great legends of Stradey rugby, one of the legends of Welsh rugby. He played here in '72 when Llanelli beat the All Blacks. They will be up for this one.
No Lee Davis or Mark Jones with the Scarlets' back line, but they are the only injuries. They're picking from virtual strength. And listen to the roar that greets them. It all starts here. Stephen Jones, key man tonight. So too, that man, Scott Quinnell. He will be relishing this contest against Blowers, so impressive in the English Premiership. There's the Scarlets lineup. The experienced international Mark Taylor makes his debut in a backline with internationals from 9 to 14. Barry Davis, the fullback, the odd one out, but his form in the Celtic League as good as anybody in this side. All the pack have a cap too. Thomas, McBride, Davis, solid front row. Cooper skippers alongside Wyatt at lock, and what a meaty back row. Jones and Quinnell of Wales, easterly of Ireland.
Well, as ever, Scott Quinnell is likely to be central to Stradey Park on a dramatic night, but even more crucial might be Stephen Jones. If he can repeat the attacking variety of his World Cup form, he could spark the home team three-quarters tonight.
Our referee is David McHugh, who is only the second man to take charge of a Heineken Cup final on 2 occasions. The second man to do that. We should look at the bench, and here we are. The Scarlets have Ian Bubia back in their squad. And of course, for the Saints, Steve Thompson, now a World Cup winner, and like Paul Grayson, back from Australia with a Golden Glow. So just to reiterate on Mr. McHugh, 2 European finals, the only man to do that, 1996, the first one he took charge of, and here we go. Plenty of teams involved this year feel they have a realistic chance of winning this competition. It's one of the beauties of it. The quest to be King of Europe wide open again, and you can see the pressure put on Dram of Northampton as he gets his first kick into touch, and there will be very little space for the Fly Halves.
Oh, it's going to be a physical evening. I tell you, I'd looked at Northampton. They walked around this pitch an hour before kickoff, and there was fire in their eyes. It's a cold night, but it is going to be very hot up front. What a battle it's going to be between these packs.
McBride throws, and that's down from Cooper to Peel to Jones. They've got Matthew Watkins in midfield, and he's broken the first tackle. Good run from him. In goes Peel again, and they'll use Celesi Finau in exactly that role. The basher, the Tongan international. Northampton on the back foot here. In goes Peel again. Jones, it's a fiery start. Watkins has some more space, and he's using his strength so well in the centre is Matthew Watkins. It's a knock on, and they had a chance to move it wide. They had an overlap on the right, and the Scarlets have come out of the traps, and they are meaning business. And Matthew Watkins setting the trend.
Good ball from Cooper. Look how flat Stephen Jones is. That's his World Cup form. He's taking Fox out of the game, and that's helping Watkins get straight over the gain line. If they get across the gain line, the Scarlets forwards are going to be dangerous.
Good service from Robinson to Beale. And Nick Beale, his club's player of the year last season after 11 years at the club with that touch find.
Exposed a little bit at Gloucester last Saturday, where Simpson, Daniel and Trevor Woodman beat him in a variety of ways for scores. He will be expecting better cover from his defence.
Chris White waits in the line-out, very talented player, of course. This time he's the lifter as Jones came forward. Back with Northampton, didn't quite get that one right. The Scarlets, and Ray Harner will chase this high kick. Finau can't make the catch. Back goes Peel. They'll have to scurry here. 21 years of age, Dwayne Peel, already 25 caps. He's crammed a lot into his youthful career, and it's away from Barry Davis, the fullback. Big left boot, and it served him well there.
Well, it's very important for the Scarlets tonight. They've got a good balance to their kicking game. Stephen Jones, of course, is the right-footed kicker. Barry Davis, very, very good with his left foot. A composed player. Keep an eye on him tonight.
Richmond, the man who's keeping out Thompson, the World Cup winning hooker for England. But Richmond has been in good form, and that was a fine throw to the centre of the line-out. Scott Quinnell calling to his players to come back, rejoin this maul, and they've turned it over. And a pat on the head there from Cooper, the captain, to Quinnell. He was the boss.
Yeah, that was interesting, because I tell you, the two men with their mitts on the ball then were Andrew Blowers and Scott Quinnell. And it was the Ursine qualities of Quinnell that came out on top that time. He is so fundamental to the Scarlets at home. And there you can see a big, beefy Welsh pack.
Peel puts one high on Ray Harner. And it hasn't got long. Back to Beale. Encouraged to counter, Davis. Cries of a late challenge there. Shane Dram to Ben Cohen. And this should be Finau's. Quinnell leaves it to the winger. And there goes the Tongan again. They were waiting for him that time. They'll have to be quickly onto him. Stephen Jones trying to release those backs. This is Mark Taylor in his first game for the Scarlets.
They have a penalty, so will they take the advantage here?
Jones going for the handoff. Did well to carry the ball there. Winston Thomas was helping out. Still the referee playing the advantage and checking the offside line for Northampton. And it's gone wide now to Gareth Evans. Well, they're mixing the game up.
Well, I know before the game Northampton were hoping that they believe there's an extra intensity to the Zurich Premiership over the Celtic League, and whilst the Netherlands haven't got into the European stride, they thought they might have a physical edge. But at the moment, the Scarlets are getting good ball, and they're really mixing their game well. Nice distribution from Peel and Jones. and good possession. Now McBride, like Stephen Jones, had a good World Cup. He's got to find his man here. He's got jumpers.
He's gone to the tail, he's found Easterby, and that is a good peel round from the Llanelli pack. Peel again to Jones. This is Taylor cutting back on the crash ball, and once more the Scarlet midfield evading the first tackle. Little dummy from Peel, needs support, gets it from Wyatt. Wyatt to drive for the line. So close, a couple of metres short. Calling for reinforcements on that far side, the Saints.
Hands off, Green.
Dwayne Peel, who started this move, is trying to dig that ball out now. They have a rumble on, and they score! First try for the Scarlets. And Scott Quinnell. And Straddy goes wild like Straddy can.
It wasn't the bravest call to say Scott Quinnell would be central to the drama tonight, but it's the little man Dwayne Peel who makes that with a lovely dart. Wyatt, who's looking hungry for action in, and then Quinnell. 2001, the Wallabies couldn't stop him from this range, and Northampton certainly cannot. Muscle and power, Sharky Robinson, the All Black scrum half, has no hope, and Llanelli are out of these traps and rattling along.
Stephen Jones with the conversion. And the flag stay down. He's been working hard on his kicking since he came back from the World Cup. Missed those kicks against England. Good at the end have proved costly. Unusual misses against England. Couldn't quite believe them.
Well, that's a poor kick from Stephen Jones. His all-round game has started excellently, but that's a mystifying miss. Almost like his left foot slid away there. It is a little bit greasy there.
A bit of a nervous stab too. Looked like a man not totally confident in his kicking rhythm.
Which is really strange because his all-round game has been very, very slick to start. And now you can see his right foot sending Northampton back.
Well, that's a long kick from Jones in behind Cohen. Of course, remembered for his Shane Who comments in Wales, Ben Cohen.
Well, it looks like Wyatt's done a hamstring, you know.
This is Davis going over the top with a chip, and there's a knock on, and there's no point arguing about it from a Northampton perspective. Seeley stood there having a word with the referee, but the ball had gone forward, and in the end Northampton
Number one's in front.
get a penalty for obstruction from Thomas, and they'll be relieved to get that. And you can see there Wyatt hobbling away.
Well, I can only hope that he's twisted an ankle. The way he just shot there, it was a sort of the look of a hamstring, but with a bit of luck, well, I say with a bit of luck, it's not muscular. It's a cold night, and these players are going to have to worry about that. But I think he might just have turned an ankle, twisted a knee or something. Will be a bonus for the Scarlets if he stays on, because he's had a good start.
Just going back to Ben Cohen, he knows who Shane Williams is now, and Wales have continued to look to the lights of Williams post-World Cup to give them a lift. And there's a man that has played many time for Wales, got a call to the World Cup, didn't start once he went out there, having initially been left out of the squad. But there is a feel-good factor here as well, isn't there? All this talk about in England, but Wales, of course, lifted by the performance against New Zealand and against England, which it was the style of play that everyone enjoyed.
Yeah, well, England have achieved the Rugby Everest. They're the world champions. But Wales, they started making the ascent up the mountain, and they've been in the valleys for a long time. They're going forwards now, and they've got a penalty.
It's exactly the same reason for the previous penalty in the match. It's obstruction. And David McHugh.
Here we go.
Who's got plenty of experience, 24 Heineken Cup matches, he's got the most to his name, just back from the World Cup himself, the Irishman.
And now you can see it's Barry Davies with his left foot driving this ball deep. And that is well taken by Cohen.
And so important to find the touch there. The throw-in would have been to the Scarlets. Handoff from Nick Beale, almost up to halfway. Draw.
Center, 7, you're offside. 7, stop.
Evans having to go back, a warning for an offside there against Fox. Here's Davis again. And Rohana is covering and takes a comfortable catch in his stride. And then hits the accelerator, but also finds touch.
Never going to go outside Finau there. Barry Davies had better be careful. Those diagonal raking kicks had better not land in Rohana's hand too often, but Finau's defence excellent there.
McBride, Cooper had to make the most of that. He did really well, the skipper. But Northampton will be happy with that result. And Mark Robinson, the scrum half, shouts his encouragement, claps his hands as well, and a bit of a twitch there from McBride.
That's pretty muscular work from the Saints pack, wasn't it? It was a good line-out, first of all, from McBride and Cooper, but Northampton just shoved them into touch, and they've got good territory here.
Great record here, Llanelli, in this competition, just 3 defeats at home. In the Celtic League this season, just nestling in behind Ulster as Chris Wyatt has more problems. Adam Jones is the replacement in the second row, ex-Cardiff man, signed in the summer. The Scarlets Celtic League record, 7-1, 2 defeats, including a very important win last week against Glasgow, which enabled some of the stars to return from the World Cup and gel back into the setup.
And here at Stradey they feel importantly developing their game, but here's a blow. It's not a hamstring, but Chris Wyatt, unfortunate, landed awkwardly, and that's a loss. Adam Jones on, but a big loss at Chris Wyatt.
Picked up by Richmond.
Hands away, Ray.
Robinson to Drum. First time to see the Northampton centres in attack. That was Tucker who took the ball into contact.
Back on side now, Aiding.
Still with the Saints, Tom Smith.
Stay on your feet.
Hunter has a go. This is good work from the Northampton forwards. Mark Robinson, it'll slip out the back of the hand. But the Scarlets moving up en masse. Good defensive work, staying on side and getting their reward, which is a penalty, but holding on after the tackle had been made.
I just feel Northampton went wide a little too early there. Some good pick and drive. When they went wide, the passing wasn't good, and Llanelli just came forward in defence. And this time, Davies makes no mistake, and he drives the Saints back into their own half. Good start to the game.
Okay, guys, now come on.
That semi-final 3 years ago, just 3 points between them in the end. Llanelli, as they were then, now the Llanelli Scarlets, of course, really felt they should have closed out the game. They didn't have the, I don't know, nerve or
the mental
guile, capacity.
The mental bravery to go and take it.
Same happened again in Nottingham in the semi-final against Leicester.
Yeah, and that's what's encouraging from those. Stephen Jones showed, I thought, a capacity I didn't know whether he had in the World Cup. He's got to go through with it now. Again, it's good ball from the Scarlets pack.
And McBride right back on the money there. Easterby helping out at the tail, and now, just as Northampton were doing moments ago, it's the Scarlets forwards looking impressive. Great contest up front, isn't it? Stephen Jones. Now it's the long cutout pass to Davis. Darren Evans has come right across from the right wing. It's going to be the extra man, never came to him. Stephen Jones again. Long floated ball to Scott Quinnell, the try scorer. That's the difference between the two teams. In goes Peel, who's had a sparky start. Stephen Jones once more challenging on that gain line. It's another penalty for holding on. They seem to be evening out the penalties for the same offences, one to each.
The defences are getting there pretty quickly and closing off the ball carrier. But again, Peel's looking very perky at the moment. Nice angles with Stephen Jones.
He's got a great fight, hasn't he, with Gareth Cooper for the international jersey. He's got a fight here as well, Dwayne Peel, with young Michael Phillips, who's caught the eye over recent times. But Peel at the moment, the man in possession of that number 9 jersey, and you can see why on the evidence of tonight's first 15 minutes in the Heineken Cup. One other game being played this evening, Celtic Warriors against Calvisano. We'll keep you in touch with that.
The Warriors will be hoping to start that one with a win.
That really is a must-win for the Warriors. They actually had the privilege of starting the competition 7:15. They got underway. Back with the Scarlets here, and a good long pass and a good steal from the Scarlets pack. You can see what the intention was to get it out to the back. Didn't quite work, and Stephen Jones settles again for the kick towards touch, but it's not found, that touch, and it's Nick Beale to Cohen. It's tight on that far side, and Peel has to make a good tackle on Heinemann.
Stay. Offside, advantage midfield.
Referee playing advantage again here to Northampton for offside that time against the Llanelli Scarlets, and there's the penalty, and it's very kickable. They'll be called back. Davies hasn't heard the whistle, he has now. So what about that other game? We've got half an hour on us. Let's see what's happening. Oh, a start in pool 6.
10, please.
Well, I know it's a new region. Celtic Warriors, for those not familiar, of course, predominantly Bridgend and Pontypridd, and they've got an awful lot of Welsh stars from the World Cup. And Calvisano are exceeding themselves there. I think the bookmakers had this one as a 34-point win for the home team, and wouldn't it be great for the game, if not for the Warriors, if the Italian teams had an impact this year?
What do you mean you think?
Well, I know.
You jolly well know what the bookmakers have on every match. Shane Drum.
Odds will be short on this one, won't they? Shane Drum has been a kicking machine in the Zurich. He hasn't missed many like this.
The leading point scorer in the Zurich Premiership then, Shane Drum. Playing with Bristol in last season's competition. It's been a try against Montferrand. It's all about kicking here for Drum. And getting his side on the board, which he does. The former Queensland man. Northampton's first 3 points of the night.
Well, Drum is not the most illustrious Queensland fly half on display here at Stradey tonight. That honour goes to our man in the studio, Michael Lynham.